Marantz 19. I have issues with, it's got a 2.5 amp fuse, slow fuse, and I've not put one in because I connected two wires. I believe those two wires have something to do with this particular capacitor. It's obviously an add-on. May or may not be. I'll show you where that is, but I'm just going to kind of go through, not really through, but video as much as possible. This is the bottom of the bottom boards, so you can see all the potentiometers. I'm sure I'm going to have to change a lot of some of these transistors, possibly those right there. Those are pretty old resistors. Let's go ahead and get some light over there. So these are the boards on the bottom. There's some power, more potentiometers. So my feeling is that whenever this was changed out, something got changed over here. I've got numbers on here. I see 12, 10, 12 again. I think there might be another 12. I'm guessing these are the volts coming from the main power supply. We'll just kind of go through here. Obviously I think I can use the color for figuring out what these resistors are, but it might be better just to use a what's it called, meter. I'm just going to kind of go through the entire thing. Definitely some stuff over there needs to be changed out. Whoa, look at that, dude. Jeepers creeps. So it actually is well organized. It's not as rat nesty as I've seen some. In fact, it's not rat nesty at all. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I'll probably be making notes as I go about each of these boards. So that's the bottom. Whoops. Let's kind of go over again. Do I know much about this? No. Let me explain what happened. As you can see right here, that was one thing that happened. This was a unit that was sent to me. I paid sub $1,000 for it, but it was a issue where it did not have one channel work, or one channel wasn't working. So I was going to kind of go through it, and I noticed on the top. Let me go ahead and put this down for a second. Obviously I'm not going to be plugging it in at any point in time in this. I've got to take the top off. I had put the top back on so I could lay it on top. This doesn't have as much support. It does, but it doesn't have as much support. I didn't want to bend anything. So take these out real quick. So what am I basically doing here? Or what I'm basically doing is I was trying to see if I could find any issues. One of the issues that I found were two wires that were removed, and I think those two wires were actually attached to one of those capacitors to manage the channel. Well, not manage, but power the channel, I should say. And the person who sold it knew that because the two wires were just hanging. So it was obvious that they were removed and left, and then he powered it up, which is fine. However, the nice thing about this, or she, I think it was actually she, or, you know, she may have been an honest person and had come across it, and her dad, she said she got it from her dad, and said it worked perfectly, sounded beautifully, etc. So I said, okay, perfect. You know, and she may not have known. So I did pay under $1,000, but definitely closer to the 1,000, and we reduced it quite extensively after I got it. And I'll show you that bend in the. Actually, I've shown other people the bend in the actual face. It's just, it was really poorly. It was obviously thrown into a box, and I made a video, but it's a private video for the actual seller. So that, in fact, what I do is I videotape every single one of my openings. So every time I pull these into the house, actually, I bring them in, I cover all the addresses and stuff, and then I take it apart. As you can see, it's relatively dirty. We'll say with this particular one, it does have the pin 10 taken out. So this is an earlier model, so they took those out of the earlier model as per the service manual that I have, that I'm going to make copies too, because I think the service manual for the 19 on Hi-Fi Engine is pretty old, meaning that it's definitely older copies, so it's that kind of black and white grainy. Anyways, those two wires, the one was this clear one right here, with the clear right there, and then the other one I believe was the black right here. So they removed this channel, pulled this channel off, and when they did that, you know, obviously it turned on. So what now I'm stuck with is a single channel unit that also happened to be bent during shipping. And I'm not going to lie to you, when I pulled this out, I was shocked. I mean, it's pretty bad. Now, I tried to pull this out after we had already made a deal, etc. Using a pair of pliers. I ended up nicking it, or not nicking it, but using a pair of pliers, and just kind of, you know, immediately, this soft aluminum just kind of went right. Got a little bit more bent, or not bent, but got a little marred, which pissed me off too. Anyways, this unit also has had some other issues. One of those issues were the tuner. The tuner wire, actually it was a tuner. This right here was stuck. She didn't mention that in the actual thing. I think she just turned it on and made the green light, made the what's it called? This right here work. Now I did remove this to clean it. I don't know why, because I'm not going to use it anymore. I bought another one, but when I did, I ended up cracking this too. So that was actually my fault. You can see it's cracked, and I'm going to glue this up against there. You know, using those glues, the two-sided tape, and just kind of put it back up there. But that's another thing. That was my fault, as was this. I'm not going to lie to you, I was very pissed off. Let's go ahead and look at what's on here. And because I was pissed off, I just kind of, you know, the face I really didn't care about too much. But this plastic piece is actually not attached to the face, so that's probably not a good move on my part. But I just was kind of, I wanted to pull it off. There's that. As we talked about before, there's your new. I'm guessing it's not too new. There's a service, scheduled service repair. It says resistance repair, but that's the name of the place. Somewhere in California, Berkeley, California. Here are the boards. It's dirty inside. I've obviously not spent a lot of time with it. Once I got it here, it was kind of one of those losses. When we were negotiating, I basically said, listen, this is a parts machine, which it is now. Or it could be, you know. As far as the faceplate's concerned, that's an issue. It's got all the parts with it, it's just that I've got to probably fix these. And I could make it serviceable. Also, I noticed that this has been recalibrated, the stickers weren't put back, you know, things like that. So it's definitely was talked up a lot more than it was, and I'm not going to lie to you. I got this for kind of a song afterwards, meaning less than half price, because otherwise I was going to basically send it back to her, and I told her that. I said, I'm just sending this back. It was just, one thing after another with this, and I felt like I had been ripped. I had been ripped off, I felt like. And so her and I made a deep negotiating cut, sub half of what I paid for it, which is great. I said, listen, if you really want me to keep this is the price that I wanted. And she balked at it, and I said, no problem. I'll be sending this back immediately and giving appropriate feedback. And she contacted eBay. She thought that I was harassing her. I wasn't. I was being very polite. I just said, listen, these are the issues that I have. And then she contacted me again. Obviously, they had looked at my messages with her and said that I wasn't harassing her, but instead I had actually got a product that I didn't, and that wasn't as described. And her and I were back on the negotiating table, and yeah, it's back. But anyways, so what have I done on this? So what I have done is I fixed the tuner. So now the tuner ribbon, the tuner string and everything work freely. That was one of those chores that I didn't want to do because I'd read several places that you don't want to mess inside there. What I ended up having to do is basically really easy, is just basically lubricate this area right here, the wheel inside, and then I lubricated both sides of the fins. So one more thing I probably will do if I end up fixing this whole entire thing, which I might, because what the hell, I mean, it's a 19, could probably send it in and spend another, definitely 500 to 700 on it being fixed by somebody else, I'm guessing. Or I can just do it myself and consider it a learning experience, and everybody will be pissed off, and I don't care because it's mine. But I will say, before I plugged those things in, the tube did work. The oscilloscope tube did work, which is cool. And the radio played, the tuner played. At the time, I couldn't get it past this half point because of the tightness that I talked about too. So there were some issues that I kind of went through, fixed, and then once I plugged those two in, that's where it blew the 2.5 amp fuse on the back, and then I just kind of put it away. So that's kind of where I am with this. I'm probably going to fix it. I'm just obviously scared of fixing anything that I am not too positive about, but there's a lot of stuff that I probably can learn from it. And for about $350 for one of these units, I think that I can afford doing it. So, and if I screw it up anymore, whatever. What am I supposed to do? I know send it in, but I just don't want to. When I can have, I've actually got a working unit of this. Actually, 2 working units of these. So, I think I can probably try to fix it, and if I can't, I still have parts. Like I said, it's a parts machine, and that's it. That's the Marantz 19. Just one more time, I'll just give you kind of an overview. See that? That's that crack right there. Totally my fault. I'm an idiot for that, and I don't care. And then if you look here, you can see where I tried to take those pliers. Just a silly steel and aluminum. And I went, this right here was already bent in. So this is exactly how it came, except for the little marks on there. And you can hear my exasperation when I pull it out. I was fuming because it was such, as I was unwrapping it, I could tell that they didn't wrap it right. It was just so loose inside the box. Yes, they double boxed, but inside the double box, I swear to God, this had like plastic wrap around it. So they put plastic wrap around it, no styrofoam or anything, so it was slamming back and forth, you know what I mean, like back and forth, and obviously just got dumped right here. And I pulled it out, and I definitely said a lot of curse words for a moment. But there it is, a Marantz 19 that I'm going to try to fix. We'll see what happens. If I screw it up, I'll make a video of that too, because what the hell, might as well.